Okay then. So when you talk about periodicity, what is the meaning of periodicity? Periodicity means the repetition of properties. Okay. Now this repetition occur because of mainly two factors. First is effective nuclear charge and second is charge. Sorry, size. Okay. First is effective nuclear charge and second is size. Now most of you have asked that what is this effective nuclear charge? Okay. So I'll explain what is effective nuclear charge. So when we talk about any element, right? When we talk about any element, okay. Suppose we talk about, okay, suppose we talk about sodium. Now when we talk about sodium, okay, when we talk about sodium, it has 11 positive charge, 11 negative charge, okay, 11 positive charge and 11 negative charge, okay. 11 positive charge and 11 negative charge. So I can say that the effective nuclear charge or the nuclear charge is 11, right? So be it the electron of first orbit or electron of second orbit, right? Everyone should have the attraction because of this 11 positive charge, okay? But that doesn't happen, okay? That doesn't happen. Why? Because when we talk about the electron of outer orbit, okay, it feels repulsion. It feels repulsion from the electron of inner orbit, okay. So example, suppose I'm having nucleus, right? And this is your first orbit. This is your second orbit, okay. So the element in, sorry, the electron in second orbit, and there will be electron in first orbit, okay. So this electron, right, will have some screening effect because of these electrons. Because of this electron, okay. So I can say that these two electrons act as a shield, okay, right? And there will be repulsion also because of this electron. So because of these effects, the effective nuclear charge, the attraction on this electron because of nucleus will not be due to this 11 protons. It won't be 11, okay? It will be something less, right? Now that is called as screening effect, okay. So what is screening effect or shielding effect? It is the shielding of outer electrons, okay, the shielding of outer electrons because of the inner electrons, due to which the effective nuclear charge decrease. Got it, right? So first, what is this effect, right? Screening effect is the decrease in, okay, decrease in effective nuclear charge because of inner electrons, okay. So when you talk about this, you see this, right? We have in a polyatomic atom, the internal electrons repel the electrons of the repels the electron of the outermost orbit, right? It's because of electron of inner orbit. Okay, see, electron only feel this screening constant. I gave you example, right? Sorry, screening effect. I gave you an example, right? Suppose I'm teacher teaching in the middle of the class. There'll be students sitting in the first bench, second bench, and third bench. Okay, right? So the students sitting in, So yeah, so this is your nucleus, this is your first orbit, this is your second orbit. Okay, right? So now suppose we have electron in second orbit. Okay, and there will be electron in first orbit. Then there is nucleus. Okay, now because of electron of first orbit, the electron of second orbit will feel some repulsion. Okay, they'll feel some repulsion. Got it? Now that is the reason of screening effect, or it is also called as shielding effect. Got it? Right? That's called your shielding effect, the repulsion of outer electrons because of inner electron. Got it? Any issue in that? Samajh mein aaya? So everyone got this? So what is the reason of screening effect or screening effect, shielding effect, right? Now suppose we have more electrons, okay, more electrons, but distance is also one of the factor, okay. Can you hear me? Very far from each other. Wait, there's some issue, I guess. Yeah. So myself. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, so just read the points. The first point, as I explained, okay, in polyelectronic atom, right? In polyelectronic atom, due to inner electrons, the outer electrons feel repulsion. Okay, the internal electrons repel the electron of outermost orbit. Okay, because of this, the nuclear attraction of the electron due to nucleus decreases. Okay, right? Got it? That's your first point. Okay, that's your first point. The second point, when we talk about second point, okay, see the second point. Now, because of this, because of repulsion, because of repulsion from inner electrons, the outermost electron have less tendency to be attracted, right? Or less nuclear attraction. Because of that, the effective nuclear charge for that electron, see, the effective nuclear charge for the electron, right, is less. Okay, got it? Got my point? Okay, so see this Z star. When we talk about Z star, right? Z star is the representation of effective nuclear charge. Z star is the representation of effective nuclear charge. Okay, now it should be equal to Z. Ideally, it should be equal to Z. But because of repulsion from inner electron, there will be some decrease, right? Now that decrease is represented by something called sigma. Now that sigma is called as screening constant. Okay, it is called as screening constant. Now this constant, as I said, it is a constant. Okay, this is constant for each electron in each orbit. Okay, this is constant for each electron in each orbit. Now see this. When we talk about first orbit, okay, 1s, the value of this constant is 0.3. Okay, 0.3. It's a fixed constant. Means for any electron of first orbit, the value of sigma is 3. Okay, right? And for any other orbit like 2s, 2p, and all those things, okay, right, of outermost orbit, see, n, right, which is outermost orbit, it is called as ultimate orbit. It is called as ultimate orbit. Ultimate. Okay. Now, the second last orbit, n minus 1. Okay. It is called as penultimate. See this. Penultimate. Okay. Outermost orbit is called as ultimate orbit. Second last is called penultimate. Third last is called as pre-penultimate. Okay. Pre-penultimate. So the value of sigma is fixed. For first, it is 0.3. For ultimate, it is 0.35. Okay. For penultimate, it is 0.85, right? And for pre-penultimate, it is 1. Okay. So this is the value that you should remember. Okay. Any issues in that? Got it? So someone asked me how to find the value of sigma. So you just have to calculate the number of electron. See this electron is in which orbit, and you have to multiply that with this constant. For example, if I'm having 1s2, okay, right, 1s2, 2s2, okay. Now you don't have to think, sir, this is your second last, 1 is second last, so it should be 0.85. Okay, so it will be 1s2 into 2s2. So 2 electrons in 1s orbit and 2 electrons in 2s orbit. Okay, right? So you just have to multiply 2 into 0.3 plus 0.35 into 2. Okay, got it? So that's how you have to find the value of sigma. Okay, so sigma star would be z minus sigma. So I can say that if the number of electrons are more, right, sigma star would be less. Now, if you see this, if you see all the points, right, there's no mention of d atomic orbital. Okay, so it is generally true for s and p block elements. Okay, it is not true for d block elements, because d block elements, right, when you talk about d block elements, the d electrons are very far from each other. Because of that, the screening is very poor. Okay, the screening of d electrons is very poor. Okay, that's why effective nuclear charge does not decrease as it should have. Okay, right? Got it? Everyone have clear concept? Okay, about this effective nuclear charge? Everyone got this? Just raise your hand. If you got this, just raise your hand. What is effective nuclear charge? How it varies? Okay, then this constant. So what you have to notice first, this formula. Z star is equal to Z minus sigma. Okay, what is Z? It is your actual charge. Okay, Z star is your effective nuclear charge. Sigma is called as screening constant or shielding constant. It varies depending on number of electron. Okay, so what is the value of sigma? So these are the values of sigma. Okay, right? And it is only applicable for s and p orbital. It is not applicable for d atomic orbital. Means this formula is applicable. This formula for sigma is applicable. Okay, but these values, it is just for s and p atomic orbital. Okay, usually you won't be asked to find the value of sigma. Okay, okay, okay then. Now, why I taught you effective nuclear charge? Because when you talk about the properties, all the properties, okay, all the properties depends on effective nuclear charge. All the properties depend on effective nuclear charge, be it ionization energy or electron affinity, size, electronegativity. Every property depends on effective nuclear charge. That's why it is very important to understand the basic concept of effective nuclear charge. Okay. Okay then. So now we will see, right, one example. Okay. See this. This example, right? The screening effect of inner electrons of nucleus causes, answers also given, right? Let's just go through the problem first. Okay. So the question is, the screening effect of inner electron of the nucleus causes. Okay. So option A, decrease in ionization energy, increase in ionization energy, no effect on the ionization energy. Okay. So we have already studied, right? If the attraction is more, right, ionization energy would be more. Okay, because it will require more energy to remove an electron, right? Suppose electron is attracted strongly to the nucleus. Obviously, you require more energy to remove that electron. And as the basic definition of ionization energy is the amount of energy required to remove the electron from outermost orbit of isolated gaseous atom. Now, if the screening effect is more, right, which means the effective nuclear charge is less, right? And if effective nuclear charge is less, then ionization energy is also less, right? So I can say that ionization energy is inversely proportional to size, and directly proportional to Z effective. Okay, right? If Z effective is more, then ionization energy is more. And if Z effective is less, then ionization energy is less. So I can say that Z effective is equal to Z minus sigma. Okay, so if sigma is more, Z effective will be less, because Z is a constant, right? For every element, Z will be a constant, right? For example, for sodium, it is 11. For fluorine, it would be 9. So it's fixed. Okay, right? So you can just remember these points. Everyone understood this concept? Just raise your hand. Okay, so answer is already given, but you think about the reason. All of you think about the reason. Okay, just take a minute and try to figure it out. What is the order? Okay, just don't look for the answer and try to figure out why this answer is right. Okay. I request all of you from now onwards, please try to attend all the classes of chemistry, irrespective of chemistry. Just attend all the classes of every subject. Okay, and if ever you miss any class because of internet, okay, ask the teachers for the downloaded class link. Okay, or watch the video from the LMS. Ideally, you should watch video from LMS first before attending the class. Okay, now if you see question number 2, we have sodium, aluminium, magnesium and silicon. Okay, right? So we know that when you talk about sodium, Na, right, 11 electrons, aluminium, 13 electrons, magnesium, 12 electrons, and silicon, how many electrons? 14 electrons, right? Okay, now the increasing order of effective nuclear charge. So obviously, Z, since all of them are from second period, there won't be much difference in sigma. Okay, there won't be much difference in sigma, right? So obviously Z star will be Z minus sigma. Now the value of sigma, right, it won't be much higher than the increase in Z. Okay, so here Z is increasing by one number, right? When you talk about sodium and magnesium, Z is increasing by 1. but sigma is increasing by how much? Just see this, see the value. Okay, so for NS and NP, it is 0.35. Okay, so if I'm adding one electron extra, one proton, one electron extra, sigma is increasing. So just consider this as a base. Okay, when you talk about magnesium, so Z is increasing by 1, right? And sigma is increasing by 0.35. Got it? So obviously Z effective will increase by 0.65. Got it? Everyone got this? Okay. In same way, from magnesium to aluminium, sigma will increase by 0.35 and Z will increase by again 1. So Z star will again increase by 0.65 value. Got it? Anyone have any issue in that? Understood why the order is second to? Okay, ठीक है. So now periodic properties. Okay, so the first periodic property that we discussed was atomic size. So I guess I've explained this already, so I'll just go through that. So when we talk about the atomic size, is actually the radius between two atoms, okay, or the distance between the two atoms, and this radius, okay, can be defined as metallic radius, covalent radius, and ionic radius. Okay, right? So what is this covalent radius? So see this here. If two atoms overlap with each other, in this, I can say that these two atoms, X and X, overlap with each other. So this is your D. AB is equal to AB is D. Okay, and radius R covalent is equal to D by 2, right? Which is certainly less than RA plus RB by 2. Makes sense, right? Which is certainly less than RA into, sorry, RA plus RB by 2. Okay, now this is between two atoms, okay, because it is your covalent radius. Now when we talk about van der Waal radius, okay, when we talk about van der Waal radius, so van der Waal radius is basically radius between two different molecules, because they don't form bond, right? They don't overlap with each other, they don't have strong attracting tendency, okay, right? So the radius between them is between two different molecules. Now see this, when we talk about covalent radius, so two atoms are overlapped with each other, okay, but here it is quite far from each other, okay. So this D, right, is the distance between two different molecules, okay. So I can say that R van der Waal is again D by 2, but in this case this is greater than RA plus RB by 2. Got it? Everyone got this? Okay, so I said that covalent radius is half of the distance between two atoms overlap with each other, right? Which is less than half of the sum of the individual radius. Okay, but when we talk about van der Waal radius, it is the distance between two molecules, which is greater than the sum of half of the sum of the individual radius. Okay, right? Okay, so see this, as I've told you. Okay, so this is the formula that we studied, right, of covalent radius. DAB is equal to RA plus RB minus 0.09 into, it's called as Chahiye minus Chib, or XA minus XB. You can just read it as XA minus XB. Okay, so this is actually your effective, electronegativity. This is your electronegativity. Okay, right? Can you see that clearly, everyone? You can see that clearly, right? Yeah. Okay. So we had two formulas. One formula was DAB is equal to RA plus RB minus 0.09 into Chahiye minus Chib. Okay. And there was second formula also, right? So this is not for JEE Mains in NEET, right? So you need not to note that in your short notes sheet. Okay, this is specific for advanced. Okay, this will never be asked in your mains and NEET exam. Okay, right? Okay then. So this we have studied. Okay, this was one numerical based on the formula. Okay, right? Okay then. Now see this question number 2, right? See this question number 2. Which of the following should be the longest bond? Okay. Now this type of question will be asked. This type of question will be asked. What do you think? So answer is given already, but think about that. Why? Because see this. These all are called as, see, it is all the bonds, right? Is your hydride, okay, and the size, and this, right, is of almost sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus. So I can say that RB is fixed. RB is fixed, which is hydrogen. Okay. Now RA, right? In one case it is phosphorus, nitrogen, oxygen, and sulfur. Okay. So we know that when talk about the size, left to right size decreases, top to bottom size increases in S and P block elements. There is no exception except of your inert gas. Okay, so I can say that oxygen and nitrogen are second period elements, but sulfur and phosphorus are third period elements. Okay, so that's why I asked you to remember periodic table. So nitrogen, oxygen, below nitrogen we will have phosphorus, below sulfur we will have, below oxygen we will have sulfur. So size will decrease from this to this size and increase from this to this size. So the smallest size would be of oxygen among these two, these four, right? And the largest will be of phosphorus. Okay, got it? So RA will be maximum for phosphorus. So what do you think? Longest bond should be of pH. Got it, everyone? Everyone got this? Okay, very good. If anyone have any doubt, just message me. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Very good. So try solving one more problem. Exercise 1. Try solving these problems. Try solving problem 1 and 2. Try solving these two problems. Okay. Krishna, what doubt you have? So you just have to see, right, which is your biggest atom. As simple as that. Okay. So we know that from left to right, size decreases in a period. From top to bottom, it increases. Okay. So here, when we talk about the size, so nitrogen, if we talk about the size, nitrogen would be greater than oxygen, nitrogen would be less than phosphorus, oxygen would be less than sulfur, right? And phosphorus would be greater than sulfur. Okay, so phosphorus is greater than sulfur, phosphorus is also greater than nitrogen. Okay, right? So phosphorus is greater than nitrogen and sulfur both. Okay, but since phosphorus and sulfur are from third period, these two will be greater than the atom of second period. Okay, so phosphorus is greater than sulfur. Now among nitrogen and oxygen, nitrogen is greater than oxygen, so nitrogen is greater than oxygen. So among these four, oxygen will be have smallest size, then nitrogen, then sulfur, then phosphorus. Got it? Right? This is the size. Okay, I hope everyone understood. Okay, so question number 1. Try solving question number 1. Okay, try solving question number 1. So the question 1 is, the van der Waals radii of oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, phosphorus, and neon. Okay, right? Okay, so yeah, so the van der Waals radii of oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, and neon increases in the order. Again, same, right? Just follow the trend, right? Just follow the trend. Van der Waals radii. So see this, right? You must be confused here. Okay, so first thing, right? Except neon, right? Will have van der Waals radii. Okay, right? So neon exists in one atom, right? This exists as one atom. Okay, so the van der Waals radii of neon is just the radius of neon, right? But when we talk about fluorine, oxygen, neon, and chlorine, okay, so van der Waals radii is basically the radii between two different molecules of fluorine, okay, two different molecules of fluorine or two different molecules of chlorine. Got it, right? And two different molecules of nitrogen. So this is two different molecules of fluorine, F2, Cl2, or whatever form it exists, N3, N2, whatever, right? This I'm saying as N2, and the same way we have O2, okay, O2, right? So we know that generally the size, the atomic size, okay, of neon, atomic of one atom will be more, okay. So if the question would have been van der Waals radii, then it would have been neon. But the question is van der Waals radii of everyone, which means radius between two or distance between two molecules. So for that, right, neon is your second period element. Second period. Neon, fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen, second period, but chlorine is of third period. So chlorine would be highest. Okay, right? Now, we know that in second period, as we go from left to right, size decreases. So if the size of the atom is less, then the size of molecule will also be less. Makes sense now, right? If the size of atom is less, then the size of molecule will be less. Okay, and if size is less, there'll be more attraction. Okay, there'll be more attraction. Got it? Okay. Okay. So just think about this, because when we talk about van der Waals radius, okay, it's basically the distance between two molecules. Okay, right? ऐसे याद रखो. ठीक है? Now, if the attractive force is more, they'll try to attract each other, right? The distance between them will be less. So, what do you think? See, neon, obviously, it's one atom. Okay, it's one atom. It's not two molecule. So, obviously, the size of one atom will be less than that of the molecule. That's for sure. Okay, that's why neon तो सबसे कम हो गया. Chlorine third period element है तो सबसे ज़्यादा हो गया. Now when you talk about fluorine, oxygen, neon, nitrogen, right? Fluorine का size सबसे कम, है ना. So obviously उसके मॉलिक्यूल का भी साइज सबसे कम, राइट. अट्रैक्शन सबसे ज्यादा, so दो मॉलिक्यूल के बीच के डिस्टेंस भी सबसे कम. ठीक है, I got सही. All of you got this? Just raise your hand. If you got this, just raise your hand. ठीक है. Okay, very good. Right. So next. So this is something that we have already studied in period from left to right. It decreases. Okay, right. See the values also. Values also is given. Okay, the value is also given. See this. This is your Z for second period element. This is for second period element. है ना? Second period element. देखो. Value of Z is 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously because it's your atomic number. See the value of Z star. Okay. Now this is for outermost electron. Okay. So for lithium it is 1.30. See, because of effective nuclear charge. है ना? Right? Clear है? For beryllium 1.95 and so on. Okay. So obviously Z effective is increasing. Okay. Now N, second orbit. So this is your second orbit. So this is your covalent radius. Okay. Right. Covalent radius. So see this. Covalent radius is decreasing. Covalent radius is decreasing. Okay. But for neon, van der Waals radius is 160. See this van der Waals radius. Okay. Got it? Any issues? Okay. Sure. Ionic size we have already discussed, right? Size of cation will decrease when the charge is positive. Okay, size of atom, right, will increase when the charge is negative. So size of cation is inversely proportional to amount of positive charge or Z effective. Makes sense, right? So this problem we have already discussed, है ना? हम लोगों ने already कर रखा है, ठीक है? चलो, so I guess these problems we have already solved. Try solving question with this, right? Which of the following has largest size? Just message me the answer. You can message the answer now. Right? So all of you already know the answer. It's already shown. Right? You understood now? What's the order? I'm asking about the order. What should be the order? Okay. I'm not asking you the answer. I'm asking you what is the order. Right? So because answer is already given. 1. So we know that first of all, first thing that you have to check, right? What I taught you. E by P ratio, है ना? Electron by proton ratio. So when we talk about N3 minus, so electron by proton for N3 minus is 10 by 7. 10 by 7. For O2 minus is 10 by 8. These are isoelectronic species. For K plus, right? It is already 10 by how much? Not 10. Okay, yeah, sorry. It is 10 by not 10 because it is your third element, right? तो फिर काफी छोटा हो गया. Because this is not even the same category, right? Because when you talk about sodium, sorry, nitrogen, oxygen, this is your second period element, second period. But when you talk about potassium, so it is your fourth, right? First, lithium, sodium, third, sorry. This will be your third. fourth, sorry, should be fourth. Okay, so this will be your fourth period elements. Okay, right? So obviously size of fourth period will be much higher that of the second period. So ये तो काफी बड़ा हो जाएगा. Now calcium. Okay, so calcium is also fourth. ठीक है, right? So largest side किसका होना चाहिए? So obviously N3 minus गलत है यहाँ पे आंसर, है ना? So जिसने N3 minus बोला है, ठीक है, ऑब्वियसली वो गलत है, इसका आंसर गलत भी होते हैं ना, ठीक है. लार्जेस्ट साइज बोला है, किसका होना चाहिए बताओ? सेकेंड पीरियड वाले का कि फोर्थ पीरियड वाले का? बिकॉज व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट दिस, राइट, लिथियम, सोडियम, पोटेशियम, दिस इज योर सेकेंड पीरियड, थर्ड पीरियड, फोर्थ पीरियड, है ना? अगर एक इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज करता भी है, ओके, देन इट विल बिकम आर्गन. Got this? And N3 minus, right? I'm just counting the electron. Okay, this is your basically 18 by 19. Okay, this is your 18 by 20. Okay, am I audible? Okay, yeah. So both potassium K plus and Ca2 plus will become argon because both will have 18 electrons. Okay, but when you talk about N3 minus and O2 minus, they'll become neon, right? Okay, now obviously it is quite obvious that when we talk about neon and argon, the size of argon would be more than that of the neon, right? है ना? That's why the answer should not be first. गलत देता है यहाँ पे, ठीक है, right? गलत देता है यहाँ पे. So it should be either potassium or calcium, and we know that, right? If number of electron is same, number of electron is same, so जिसका प्रोटॉन का नंबर कम होगा उसका साइज ज्यादा होगा. So the answer should be 3. It should be 3. Okay, it should not be 1, it should be 3. ठीक है, तो जिन्होंने 1 बोला था, N3 माइनस बोला था, राइट, वो सब गलत है. आर्यन मिश्रा, करिश्मा, अभिराम, सिद्धार्थ, समझ में आया? समझ में आया क्या? सबको समझ में आई है? Yes or no? Tell me this. Right? Got it? It is just number of electron by number of proton. That's it. It is number of electron by number of proton. K plus में कितने electrons हैं? 18. Right? Because K का atomic number कितना है? 19. एक electron दे दिया तो कितना बचेगा? 19 ना? So this is your E by P ratio. E by P ratio. Okay. Got it? Everyone? साम्या, सौम्या, अंजलि, समझ में आ रहा है? ठीक है, मैं सेम कॉन्सेप्ट को समझा रहा हूँ फिर से अच्छे से, ठीक है, राइट? सो इसका आंसर गलत दिया हुआ था, तुम लोगों को ऑर्बिट भी चेक करना है ना? थोड़ी ना तुम फिफ्थ ऑर्बिट और सेकंड ऑर्बिट को कंपेयर करोगे या फोर्थ ऑर्बिट और सेकंड ऑर्बिट कंपेयर करोगे, है ना? राइट, वो ध्यान देना है. यहीं पे अगर पोटेशियम की जगह Na प्लस होता, Na+1, राइट, और Mg2 प्लस, देन आंसर वुड बी N3 माइनस. ठीक है, अगर पोटेशियम की जगह सोडियम +1 होता और कैल्शियम की जगह मैग्नीशियम 2 प्लस होता, देन ये आंसर वुड हैव बीन N3 माइनस. गॉट इट? सबको समझ में आ गया? राइट? सो मेरा एटॉमिक साइज क्लियर हो गया है, सबका एटॉमिक साइज क्लियर हो गया, कोई डाउट इसमें? ठीक है, चलो वेरी गुड। सो आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी जल्दी जल्दी एक बार डिस्कस कर लेते हैं, ठीक है? सो जो भी डाउट्स होगा आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी में पूछ लेना, ठीक है? चलो, so first is definition. So we know that it is the energy required to remove the, see there are different definitions based on the language, okay? So तुमको जो लगता है वो करो, loosely bond, right, outermost electron, कुछ भी, but this definition I have remembered, remember means मेरा fix हो गया है अपने से, यही है, हम तो यही बोलते हैं, तुमको जैसे लगता है तुम बोलो। Main concept is energy required to remove the electron, outermost electron, okay, of an isolated gaseous atom, right, is your ionization potential, okay, as simple as that. Now this is endothermic process, means energy is being supplied, okay, right? Any issues? Okay, now first gaseous atom होना चाहिए, okay? जैसे देखो, मान लो यहाँ पे ये है Na solid, right, gives Na plus gas. So ये अगर energy E होगा ना, so this E is not your ionization energy. This E is actually your sublimation energy plus ionization energy. ठीक है? Why? Because this is in solid form. Okay. So Na solid से Na gas बनने में एक energy लगी होगी. That's your sublimation energy, S. Okay. Then Na gas, right, will lose electron to form Na plus plus electron, right? Now this is your ionization energy. Got it? Right? So ये ध्यान देना है, ये तुमको thermodynamics और thermochemistry में काम आएगा, ठीक है? So this is the concept that you have to remember, okay? And apart from that, we know that if you remove one electron, okay, the effective nuclear charge will be more because the positive charge, right, increases your Z effective, okay? That's why I can say that third ionization potential, this point is important, right? We've already studied this point. Third ionization potential is greater than second ionization potential is greater than first ionization potential. I'll just mark it, okay? So I can say that, right? I'll just mark this, okay, at this point. Got it? Makes sense? Because we know that the positive charge, right, will reduce the size, it will increase the effective nuclear charge, okay, right? So the points that you have to remember, right? So the factors on which ionization potential depends. So ultimately there is only one factor, this one. Ionization potential is directly proportional to effective nuclear charge, okay? All the other factor is the derivative of this factor. For example, size. Effective nuclear charge more, size would be less. Makes sense? Effective nuclear charge more, size would be less, right? Hence, ionization potential would be more. So that's why ionization potential is inversely proportional to size, directly proportional to effective nuclear charge. Now shielding effect. So we know that if shielding effect is more, ionization potential would be less, okay? Because shielding effect more, Z effective will be less, है ना? The formula for Z effective, all of you remember, right? Z effective is equal to Z minus sigma. As I told you, Z more, Z star less. Z star less, ionization potential less. Got it? Right? So this is the point that you have to remember. What I'm marking, these are the important points that you have to remember. So in your short notes, you just write the highlighted portion, okay? Right? Now stability of half-filled, fulfilled, we have already discussed. Ionization potential of fulfilled is greater than that of the half-filled, and half-filled is greater than that of the normal. Okay, that's why the order for second period, right, is not your general trend. Yeah, it means the same. Okay, this is just the language, right? Then now the last point is penetration power. Okay, and this we have already studied in atomic structure. that penetration power of s atomic orbital is greater than p atomic orbital is greater than d greater than f. So ionization potential is directly proportional to penetration power, because penetration power is indirectly linked with z effective, है ना? s का इलेक्ट्रॉन ज्यादा शील्डिंग प्रोवाइड करेगा एज कंपेयर टू p का इलेक्ट्रॉन, राइट? ज्यादा शील्डिंग प्रोवाइड करेगा, ठीक है? सो दैट, और ज्यादा क्लोजली रहेगा ना, s का एटॉमिक, s का इलेक्ट्रॉन will be close to nucleus, है ना? If it will be close to nucleus, the z effective would be more. Okay, any issues? ठीक है, कोई डाउट्स में? ठीक है, so ये है. Now the trend, so this we have already studied. Period में क्या होता है? Left to right it should decrease, है ना? Size should decrease, and we know that ionization energy is inversely proportional to size, so ionization energy should increase. Okay, right? Okay, so see, that's the order. Okay, the order. So general trend should be nitrogen, sorry, neon greater than fluorine, why neon? Fulfilled, right? Greater than fluorine, greater than oxygen, greater than nitrogen, greater than carbon, greater than boron, greater than beryllium, greater than lithium. But because of half-filled and fulfilled atomic orbital, right? Nitrogen will have higher ionization potential, ionization energy as compared to oxygen. Okay, right? See this point, second point. Okay, and first point. So beryllium is greater than boron because beryllium has fulfilled atomic orbital. Okay, fulfilled atomic orbital. Fulfilled atomic orbital. ठीक है? And same as nitrogen and oxygen, nitrogen having a filled atomic orbital. Okay, so see the trend. For second period and third period, it's same na. Neon के नीचे argon, fluorine के नीचे chlorine, nitrogen के नीचे phosphorus, oxygen के नीचे sulfur, carbon के नीचे silicon, beryllium के नीचे magnesium, boron के नीचे aluminium, lithium के नीचे sodium. So you just have to remember the order of second period. ठीक है? Now for inner transition element, that is exception. ठीक है, तुमको एक एक करके याद करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, inner transition elements means d block elements. ठीक है, now there are some exceptions in p block elements, right? So तुमको generally याद करना पड़ जाएगा. ठीक है, जैसे देखो normally क्या होता है, बाल जयंती, right? ठीक है, so when we talk about the ionization potential, general trend is it should decrease because size is increasing. Okay, right? But in 13th group, right, there's exception. Okay, ideally, right? So ionization energy decreases. Okay, so see, this is exception means ideally should decrease gradually, right? But it is almost constant from aluminium to gallium and indium, right? This aluminium and gallium, it is almost constant, right? Then aluminium greater than gallium greater than indium, right? है ना? Because size top to bottom increases, ionization energy decreases, है ना? Ionization energy decreases. Size increases, ionization energy decreases. So ionization energy would be boron greater than aluminium greater than gallium greater than indium, right? But what is found is aluminium and gallium will have almost same ionization energy. ठीक है? Exception है, right? In the same way, right? Ideally, it's this Sn then Pb. Okay. Okay. When you talk about this group, right? So Sn, right? Then Pb. So ideally, according to general trend, Sn should have higher ionization potential than PV. Okay, general trend, according to general trend. But this doesn't happen. Okay, according to the exception, right, it would be PV greater than SN. So this is also one exception. Okay, so this exception you have to remember. Okay, the same way, indium and this thallium, right? Ti, है ना? So ideally, indium should have more ionization potential than Ti, but is also opposite. So these are the exceptions. ठीक है, ये तुमको याद करना पड़ जाएगा. ठीक है, चलो. So this was about ionization potential and the trend. D block elements हम लोग उतना दिमाग नहीं लगाएंगे, बहुत एक्सेप्शन होता है. ठीक है. So mostly we will remember S block elements and P block elements. ठीक है. Now when we talk about ionization potential, just think about the basic definition of ionization potential. It is energy required to remove the electron from outermost orbit. है ना? So खुद सोचो. If the energy required to remove the electron is less, right? So obviously, the tendency to lose electron will be more, right? And if tendency to lose electron is more, then the element is more reactive. Okay. So I can say that ionization energy less, tendency to lose electron more. Tendency to lose electron more. And reactivity would be reactivity of what? Reactivity of metal. Reactivity of metal would be more. Got it? Everyone got this? This is your first application. How to find the reactivity of metal. Okay, right? Now, if ionization potential is less, okay, again, same thing. When you talk about reducing property, okay, the tendency to lose electron is called reduction. Okay. Sorry, tendency to lose electron is called oxidation, right? And if you lose electron, right, you are reducing the other atom. Okay, so you are reducing agent. So if you are losing electron, you are reducing agent. Okay, so obviously if you have more tendency to lose electron, you are better reducing agent. So I can say that ionization potential is inversely proportional to reducing property also. And if metallic nature is more, right, it means the reactivity is more. So it is also directly proportional to metallic property. Okay, see, all those properties is associated with tendency to lose electron. Okay, now when we talk about base, okay, when we talk about base, so base, especially Lewis base, are those atoms or molecules, right, which has tendency to lose electron. Again, same, everything is associated with tendency to lose electron. Okay, so obviously it is also inversely proportional to basic property. Okay, so see this problem. Okay, so we are done with today's class. Just see this last problem. Okay, the problem is, which of the following should be the order of increasing value of second ionization potential? Okay, not first, second. ठीक है, सेकंड का बताओ. तो सेकंड के लिए क्या करना है, राइट? सबको एक एक इलेक्ट्रॉन निकाल दो, फिर कन्वर्ट करो. ठीक है, ऐसे करना है. सी दिस, अगर एक इलेक्ट्रॉन हटा दिए, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन हटा दिए हम, ठीक है, ध्यान दो, अगर हम एक इलेक्ट्रॉन हटा दिए So this carbon will become C. C will become C plus, which is basically your boron. Okay. N plus will become carbon. Okay. O plus will become nitrogen. It's not that it will become nitrogen. I'm just talking about the configuration. According to configuration. ठीक है, तुमको तो निकालना नहीं पड़ेगा. ठीक है. Now F plus configuration would be same as oxygen. And we know the order, right? What is the order of ionization energy among these? It is so. So this nitrogen was O plus. Okay, so this would be O greater than. Oxygen is F plus. So F greater than. Then C. C is N plus. So N greater than. Then B. B is C plus. So C. So this is the actual order, right? This is your hypothetical considerate, like considering F minus as O according to your electronic configuration. It would be, the order would be what? Okay, the order would be nitrogen greater than oxygen. So this is the order of neutral atom, neutral atom, neutral atom, right? And now, so this is the order for first ionization energy, first ionization potential, first. Okay, right? This will be the order for second ionization potential, second ionization potential. Okay, because this nitrogen, right? So this oxygen after losing electron will be, will have same configuration as nitrogen. Got it? Fluorine after losing electron will be having same configuration as oxygen. So this is the order. I hope everyone understood this. Just raise your hand if you understood today's class. Okay. All of you understood today's class? Just raise your hand. Is there anything that you couldn't get today? Okay then. Okay, thank you everyone. So I'll just post the video.